A very good afternoon to you and welcome to iRadio 1 o'clock news bulletin. First, here are the headlines. The High Court in Juba has begun a trial of 6 officials of the Agriculture Bank for allegedly embezzling funds. The governor of Jonglei State has called for immediate investigation into officers who are harassing women over dress code issues to be held accountable and punished. And the UN mission in South Sudan says it has stepped up patrolling in several villages in the troubled Lair County of Unity State. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Yar Ajak Deng, and now the news in detail. The High Court in Juba has begun a trial of 6 officials of the Agricultural Bank for allegedly embezzling funds. This comes after the General Prosecutor Sabino Okuch petitioned the court over the alleged embezzlement of 290 million South Sudanese pounds and $40,000. According to Okuch, the misappropriation was carried out between 2019 and 2021. The 6 suspects are being tried for breach of trust, criminal involvement, and faking of receipts. The first 4 court hearing was held in Juba yesterday. Sabina told iRadio that the fraud was discovered during an internal audit in Agricultural Bank. The High Court Judge Duot Kolang adjourned the session to Wednesday, 13th of April, to hear the complainant and the statements of prosecutor's witness. The 6 suspects are Bachao James, the branch manager of Agricultural Bank, Abraham Guom, financial controller, Ading Agudiar, Butrus Charles, Clement Agostino, and Juan Madut. The 4 are cashiers at the bank. The governor of Jonglei State has called for immediate investigation into officers who are harassing women over dress code issue to be held accountable and punished. In recent months, young girls and women have come out to accuse the head of joint operations, General Ajak Ayuen, of harassing and intimidating them over what they call indecent dressing in Bo Town. Young girls and women are stopped on the way and forced to remove anything that the security forces consider inappropriate. To a larger extent, women are forced to sit on the ground and have indecent clothes removed and thrown away or banned. The behaviors which members of the public have come out to condemn, calling it uncouth, uncivilized, and barbaric action, has angered many on social media. Asked about the ongoing affairs in the state in his recent official visit to the U.S., Governor Dinai Chagor stated that he did not give the state orders for women and girls to be harassed and intimidated. Speaking to the Voice of America from the U.S., Governor Dinai says the operation has been stopped and has ordered for immediate investigation to those officers involved in the case and should be held accountable and punished.
I personally did not give those orders, and when I heard that was going on, that was when I was on my way coming here. I immediately called those who were actually doing that, and it has been stopped. And so investigation will be launched to make sure that those officers who got involved in doing that will be held accountable.
Contrary to the governor's claim, the Deputy Governor of Jonglei State, Antipas Nyong Kucha, says the entire government is aware of the ongoing crackdown in the states.
Yes, it's aware. The entire government is aware of it, not the governor only. As I told you before, the security committee is chaired by the governor. It is chaired by myself. It is this particular incident, but the entire operation is aware of it. But this particular incident of this lady happened when he was away. Yes, it is true. He is not aware of it, but it is me. I am aware of it.
The Deputy Governor of Jonglei State spoke to iRadio this morning from Bor Town. The UN mission in South Sudan says it has stepped up patrolling in several villages in the troubled Lair County of Unity State. This comes after 4 days of violence that has left an unspecified number of people dead, destroyed livelihood, and displaced thousands of people. ANMI says civilians have been caught up in the spiraling conflict that has led to death, displacement, and a dire humanitarian situation. It also says the UN peacekeepers in Lair are engaging with communities to restore calm and stability. Hiroka Hirara, who is the head of UN Peacekeeping Mission Field Office in Bentiu, says the situation on the ground remains critical. In a press statement, he said, and I quote, "With these latest instances of violence leading to fresh displacements, peacekeepers are redoubling efforts to build community confidence and bolster the security situation, but the humanitarian situation in and around Lair is more alarming than ever." End quote. Sources on the ground have revealed that the assailants started leaving last evening, but the situation remains tense. Last week, armed men reportedly burned villages, looted properties, and displaced thousands of civilians in several villages. The commissioner said at least 13,000 households have been displaced in Lair Town and Mom Training Center. The county authorities have not yet established the official death toll of the violence. However, conflict survivors who spoke to iRadio from different remote locations recounted atrocities, including killings, rape, and the burning of invalids inside shelters. You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News. An MP at the Transitional National Legislative Assembly is calling on presidency to form a fact-finding committee to investigate the ongoing fighting in Lair County of Unity States. On Friday, the clashes were reportedly started in Mirmir Cantonment Site when SPLA-IO and their breakaway faction known as Kitgwang allegedly fought for the control of the area. As a result, number of civilians were killed and more than 13,000 households were displaced in Lair Town and Mom Training Center. According to the Member of Parliament who hails from Lake State, the presidency must form a committee to conduct meetings with parties and individuals involved in an attempt to contain the ongoing clashes. Anok Adyar says the leadership of the parliament and the presidency must take seriously the problem in Lair County. He is expecting the fact-finding committee to identify the root causes of the fighting and find a solution to the problem affecting the communities in the area. Anok spoke to iRadio yesterday.
My message is strongly, this problem of Lair in Unity State must be taken seriously, like the problem which has happened to Dinkangok and the rest of Warrap State. When it happened in Warrap and Ngok, it did not take 24 hours when the committee was not formed. So I'm requesting the parliament and the judiciary and especially the presidency to take this matter very urgently and form a committee to work home there, Lair and the other counties and assess the situation and bring the justice to those populations.
And finally, before approaching stories making headlines in the region and international scene, the Technical Committee on Commission for Truth, Reconciliation and Healing is calling on government and partners to finance its activities. It says it is in urgent need of support to conduct the consultation process across the country. This includes transport, facilitation and accommodation, among others. Last week, President Salva Kiir launched a nationwide public consultation for the establishment of the Commission for Truth, Reconciliation and Healing. The revitalized peace agreement obligates the Ministry of Justice in collaboration with stakeholders and civil society to conduct public consultations for a period not less than 1 month prior to the establishment of the Commission. It adds that the consultation shall ensure the experiences of women, men, girls, and boys are sufficiently documented and findings of the consultation incorporated in resultant legislation. The Commission for Truth, Reconciliation and Healing shall also recommend processes and mechanisms for the full enjoyment by victims of the right of remedy, including by suggesting measures for reparation and compensation. After the establishment of the Technical Committee on the public consultation last week, it is now expected to conduct meetings with women, youth, religious leaders, traditional leaders, among others, in all parts of the country as enriched in the revitalized peace agreement. Justice Ajonye Perpetua is the acting president and the Secretary General of the South Sudan Law Society. She spoke on the Dawn Show today.
The most important thing at this moment now is the support from the partners, and it has to be done on time. Of course, also the government, logistics and so on, for them to move. There are different partners. Of course, UNDP has been supporting, pledged to support, and is in the process. And the government and IGAD also, because in Terkaka it was IGAD actually who gave them that support to sit together and organize their tools. So we need support from the partners and the government, and it has to be done urgently, because now their tools are already put in place, but they cannot move because of the logistics.
Alo Kir is the Deputy Chair of the Technical Committee on the consultation for the establishment of the Commission for Truth, Reconciliation and Healing. She explained to iRadio the role and mandate of the committee.
المفوضية واقفة بناء على توصيات ومخرجات اللجنة. اللجنة ده كونوه عشان يعمل شنو؟ واحد، إنه يجهز نفسه ويجهز آليات ويجهز أدوات وخطوات منظمة عشان يمشي للمواطن، عشان ياخد منه المعلومات اللي هو دايرة لتكوين المفوضية. المعلومات دي بتجي عشان نحن نرفعها لسياقة القانون اللي بيدي الحق إنه المفوضية تكون مفوضية قانونية، تاخد بنودها، تاخد لوائحها، تاخد نظمها، تاخد الشروط وبكونه كيف. ده ياخد الدور اللي بيقوم به اللجنة الفنية، عشان كده اسمه public consultation.
You are listening to iRadio 1 o'clock news bulletin, and now to the stories making headlines in the region and international scene. My colleague Chan Niro joins us, and this international news is brought to you by MTN.
1, 2, 3. 1 million. 2 million.
Yes. It's time to celebrate. MTN 2 million. MTN has reached over 2 million customers and still counting. With over 2 million subscribers, why won't you trust MTN?
To enter the draw, get an MTN SIM card today and get free 10 minutes every day for 3 months and 500 MB every month for 3 months. And on top of that, qualify to enter a draw to win 2 million SSP cards.
Sabi, what are you waiting for? Buy an MTN SIM card today and get to win 2 million SSP. Yes, when MTN says 2 million SSP, it's 2 million for one lucky Junubin. Second winner gets 200,000 SSP, 10 winners get 20,000 SSP, and others get lots of MTN branded prizes.
Join MTN, the biggest family in South Sudan, and enjoy such amazing offers.
MTN, everywhere you go.
A Colombia researcher has died after being trampled on by an elephant in Uganda's Kivale National Park. Ramirez Amaya Sebastian, who is based at a university in the US, had been carrying out a routine research in the park forest with an assistant when the incident happened. According to the Uganda Wildlife Authority, the elephant attack at Kivale was the first deadly incident at the park in 50 years, Uganda Wildlife Authority said. Elsewhere, Ethiopia has allowed 737 Mark airplane back to its airspace, the aviation regulator has said, 3 years after one of its national carrier jets crashed shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa. All 149 passengers and 8 crew members aboard the Ethiopian Airlines flight from the Ethiopian capital to Nairobi died. The Ethiopian Civil Aviation Authority said it had lifted the ban after being satisfied with improvements in the plan's design and airline's pilot training program. And finally, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reached out to the African Union for support against Russia's aggression and requested to address the Continental Organization. Mr. Zelensky called Senegalese President Macky Sall on Monday, and their conversation touched on an African Union statement in February that called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. African nations have shown disunity in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Senegal was among 17 African countries that abstained from a vote at the UN on a resolution demanding that Russia ends its military operations in Ukraine. And that is the end of its stories making headlines in the region and international arena. And back to you, Yara Jack.
Thank you, Chainiro, for those international news. And now my colleague Emmanuel Joseph Akile joins us with the sports news.
Thank you, Yarajak. In the world of sports, a sport in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals will be on the line when La Liga leaders Real Madrid square off against reigning European champions Chelsea in the second leg of the quarter-finals on this evening night at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid already have one foot through the doors into the next round after securing a stunning 3-1 victory in the first leg at Stamford Bridge, riding on the brilliance of Karim Benzema. Following that victory, Carlo Ancelotti's men warmed up for the second leg with a comfortable 2-0 win over Getafe in La Liga over the weekend. As for Chelsea, the Blues were all over the place, especially in the first half at home in the first leg last week. Manager Thomas Tuchel demanded a strong reaction from his team, and that is what he got as the West Londoners thrashed Southampton 6-0 in the Premier League on Saturday. Elsewhere, former Chelsea striker Didier Drogba has been cleared to stand in the long-delayed elections to be the next president of Ivory Coast Football Federation, FIF. A total of 6 candidates, including outgoing Vice President Idriss Diallo, have been approved by FIF's FIFA-installed Normalization Committee to stand in the polls on 23rd April. The voting was originally scheduled to be carried out in September 2020 but has been repeatedly postponed because of ongoing issues over the eligibility of certain candidates, including Drogba. Drogba played more than 100 times for the Elephants, including at the 2006 and 2010 World Cups, but told in August 2020 that he was not eligible to stand in the election. And finally, the Los Angeles Lakers have sacked head coach Frank Vogel after a poor campaign which saw them miss out on the playoffs. Vogel's team won 33 of their matches but lost 49 in a season which saw them finish 11th in the Western Conference. His final match on Sunday was a 146-141 overtime win over Denver Nuggets. Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager, said, "This is an incredibly difficult decision to make, but one we feel is necessary at this point." Confirming the news on Monday, the Lakers issued a statement thanking him for his efforts, with the 48-year-old having led them to the NBA championship in 2020. That's all from the world of sports, and back to you, Yarajak.
Thank you, Emmanuel Akile, for those sports news. And now to end this news bulletin, here is a recap of the main headlines again. The High Court in Juba has begun a trial of 6 officials of the Agricultural Bank for allegedly embezzling funds. The governor of Jonglei State has called for immediate investigation into officers who are harassing women over dress code issue to be held accountable and punished. And the UN mission in South Sudan says it has stepped up patrolling in several villages in the troubled Lair County of Unity State. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. You can also get these stories and updates by subscribing to iRadio News Alert on your MTN South Sudan number. Call 700-700# and follow the instructions. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It is also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on Twitter at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel iRadio South Sudan, and watch our comprehensive interviews. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30 the hour. I am Yar Ajak Deng. Thank you for listening.